folks, how you going? Yeah? Awesome. Listen, today I'm here to talk about the 26 proven tricks to engage and enliven training. I guess one of the things that people often come up to me and say, Mark, why should we play games? Why can't we cut all the games out, all the activities out and go straight to the content? Well, I've got to tell you, that's like beating that proverbial dead horse. The games are there to enhance the learning. The right game used in the right way, with the right audience, will enliven, it will help to persuade, it will help to reinforce, and ultimately add that element of fun that's often missing for most of the training that we're looking at. So please see today's very short session as a way for us to explore just some of those extra tools in our trainer and assessor's kit bag. And we're going as a kind of A to Z. So when I ran this course a few years ago, I only had 12. Some of you might remember the 12 proven tricks. Well, I've more than doubled those. We've got 26 today. I'm going to run through them A to Z. So strap yourselves in, get yourselves ready for the 26 proven tricks to make you a much better trainer. At the top of our list is A. A is for the ask it basket. You've got to be careful how you say this. But ask it basket or ask it basket, depending on where you're coming from, can be a really useful way to get those anonymous questions. You know, invariably when you ask for questions or you're trying to engage some sort of participation from the audience, people often are worried to ask the question, to put their arm up. They might be thinking they're the only one asking the question yet. So from this perspective, you want to give them an opportunity to ask the question without the gaze of the audience, and for you to be able to give worthwhile and meaningful responses to those questions. So it could be like a real basket that you have in the back of the room, or somewhere else visual on the way out to a break, or it could be a virtual basket. You might create a picture up on your wall like a basket, and they use a post-it note or similar, and they write their questions as they go out or sometime during the session. The great thing about the Ask a Basket is that it gives you an idea of the kinds of questions that often come up. And it adds value to your own courseware, because you might use a lot of those frequently asked questions to add to the course materials, the student handouts, or indeed just have as an FAQ as a handout at the end. So Ask a Basket is our A. B is for back channel. Now, so for those of you who are involved with Twitter and Facebook and a lot of those other social media type situations will be familiar with the back channel. For those of you who aren't, this is what it relates to. It's when you're involved with a social media posting, and you might put a hashtag, and your hashtag, for instance, if we're doing something at our organisation, Mr. Wed, you might hashtag Mr. Wed, and every time someone might be searching for that, they can search simply by the hashtag Mr. Wed. We often use it with our internal microblogging service. We use Yammer, and for instance, if there was a typo in one of our course materials, the trainer or even the student at the time can go hashtag typo and then put the page number, or gives us an idea of maybe where the improvement could be. And then when we search our Yammer feed, we can then search by typo, and then when we're ready to update the materials, we can get a list of all the typos and go straight to work. From a learning perspective, you can actually encourage the conversation during. I mean, let's face it, a lot of our students already have the smartphones, and they're thinking, like, nobody knows that I'm doing this. Bring those smartphones on the table, not underneath the table, and then you've got a chance for them to participate in the dialogue in the way that they like to communicate. So if they're into Facebook, into Twitter, into Yammer, as our organisation is, it gives them a voice, it gives them a vehicle for being able to do that. There's even software now that's available for the Microsoft PowerPoint and the Apple Keynote that allows you to have a live feed in that material. I'm not sure I want the live feed all the time, but it might be great for a different way of doing brainstorming, particularly if your students are already bringing these smartphones to the class. You may as well use the resources that are there rather than having to bring new things to the table. Key thing here, folks, if you're not interested in the back channel, that's cool, that's fine. You don't have to force your students to do it. but it's another vehicle, it's another option for them to participate in the dialogue. C is for countdown. Now, the countdown is a different way of doing a summary. I mean, often when we do summaries, it's like, well, at the end of the day, what did we cover? These are the key points. And, you know, it's not tremendously exciting or interesting. I mean, realistically, I much prefer a revisiting activity, something which gets the students doing something rather than you doing all the work. And Countdown kind of does this. So what we've got up here on the board is we've got the 5 clouds you can see, and each of them have a different question or a topic from the day. And then we count them down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we go to the audience and we say, okay, we need 5 of one of these clouds. So on our example, we've got 5 assessment tools. So now the audience has to give me 5 assessment tools. And then once we've got the 5, we go to the next one. So we're counting down 4 of something else. So one of the other clouds here says 4 things, or things you're going to change, or things you're going to implement after this training. So now you're going to give me 4 of those things. And we work our way down to 1. It's just a different way of finishing up the day, but also the key point here is that revisiting. We're going one more time through the key concepts to make sure they've got it, and it can also provide a really nice way of doing a checking for understanding. What were they taking away? Did they take anything? And you know, if they're really struggling and they go, you know, perhaps you can prompt them, maybe you could consider this. Would this be one of them? And that way everybody gets to the same result at the end. Pause.